So I keep being asked, how can you make money from AI music? So I'm going to cover that in this video. Hey everyone, this is Barry from Music Tech Info. Hope you're doing well today. Now, this is a video I've been thinking about for some time because ethically I wasn't really all for it. And I think if I explain why in this video, that'll probably make a lot of sense. I've been a music producer since the age of, well, 8, really. I've been making music since the age of 8, producing music since probably the age of 12. And I'm a lot older than that now. And I have seen the technological advancement of AI music like full throttle because I've been covering it on this YouTube channel now for well over 2 years. And there's lots of platforms out there that allow you to easily generate AI music. As a music producer, if I'm doing that myself, I'll always go in and change what's been produced and edit it and make it sound better and add elements, maybe remove some others. And I've done lots of videos on how I do that. So you should check that out on this channel. But what I don't agree with is just people wanting to make money out of music and that's all that they are interested in. I'm an artist myself, known as Cyber Monday, synth pop, synthwave music, and for me, it disheartens me to know that people are doing it just for the money. And I can tell you right away, I can tell you it's not going to be easy. If you're absolutely determined that that is going to be like your career, you may need to look at other things. I can certainly tell you how you can make money, but maybe not a fortune from AI music. So I thought I'd do this video regardless. I thought this background was quite amusing. Is that even the real song? AI tracks are taking over Spotify and YouTube. And yes, they really are. Now, I did come across this article that I wrote down what I thought different ways to do it. And actually, this ties up really well. So this is from musicful.ai, which is, as you guessed it, an AI music generator. Now, the first way is to upload your music to streaming platforms. Right, so distribution is the first thing. Now, most importantly, you need to check the terms and service that your AI music generating platform offers. And ideally, you need to screenshot it as well for proof because you really need these terms of service can change at any point. You need to make sure that you own the copyright of the music that is generated according to the platform. That doesn't necessarily mean, from a legal point of view, that that's 100% correct. That is the company's take on the situation currently. Now, we're waiting for the courts to decide in various countries about AI music, and it's a mixed bag. I can tell you that now. Some people are all for these AI platforms to make the countries lots of money. Others are dead against it, like the likes of Elton John. There's been a lot of people coming out of the woodwork against AI music, which is why for me, I always change it as a producer. But a lot of people don't have the luxury of being a music producer, such as myself, so I understand that. Rule number one, make sure that you own the copyright, that it allows you for commercial rights to publish that track. The second thing that I'd probably test is YouTube. I would put the song on video format, and you can use tools such as Wondershare Uniconverter that I pay for every year. Very good tool because you've got converter here. So literally you can go converter, MP3 or WAV file, which is the song file, to MP4. So output will be video MP4. So you can easily do bulk tracks to do that conversion. I would then put it on YouTube as a private video to see what pops up on the content ID. So when you do that, you're able to go into the video. It runs a check for the whole of YouTube for content ID to say if it's too similar to any other tracks. If it is, I wouldn't be using that track because chances are it's going to be flagged up as a copyright issue and you really shouldn't be uploading it to streaming platforms. Now, one of the streaming platforms that I have used in the past for many years is rootnote.com. Is free. It allows you to distribute music for free, but there is a premium service if you want to keep 100% of the royalties. I've used CD Baby before. I want to say Tune Baby. Is it TuneCore as well? I've used various others. Rootnote has been my number one. However, what I will say was one of the tracks that I uploaded, which was called Beams, which I absolutely love the track. I did spend a lot of time editing it and changing it. They came back to me after submitting the track and they said, it's too similar to another track already existing. So what you can do, you can publish that worldwide. However, we're not going to publish it out to Content ID on YouTube. So I was like, I'm happy with that, and thanks for getting back to me. So the track is on Spotify in the form of Cyber Wednesday, so which is fantastic. Now, I can tell you now, if you've got no experience or little experience of doing this, sorry if I freeze, my laptop's not the best. If I go to Cyber Wednesday, right, and some of you will know what I'm going to say, right? This is my track that I did utilizing AI, right? If I play this track to you briefly, that is not the track, sorry, B. It's tough to say, take me back to the top, where there's gold. That is my AI track that I've published on distribution services via Root now. Can you see? 1 monthly listener. You can't put music out there and expect it to fly, no matter how good it is. This is a really good 90s pop track that would do really well in the charts back in the 90s. Nobody wants to listen to it. It's a fantastic track. I've had my family listen to this track and I haven't told them. They honestly thought it was on the radio as a really good, commercially sounding, well-produced 90s track. So bear that in mind. You need to promote your music. The other thing is transparency. So I'm not releasing this as my main artist, Cyber Monday. I'm releasing this as an alternative name, Cyber Wednesday. There's less risk with doing that because if somebody disputes your track, they can take it down. Spotify have the right to remove your profile, all of your music from Spotify. It's their platform, not yours. So you need to make sure that you've got little risk involved when you're releasing music, particularly if it's AI generated music. You need to promote the track. Now, some people have millions of streams. How do they do that? They use Facebook ads. They're spending money to promote the song. So even if they say they're making money from from releasing AI music, they're not showing the stuff they're doing in the background. They're not showing the money they've spent on it. Some people have had success because I've seen them in the Facebook groups. They've had success. They've said they haven't spent any money on doing this and it's just gone crazy on YouTube. They are the lucky ones. The norm is that you're not going to release much. You're not going to make much money, if at all. So bear that in mind. And it was a fantastic track that I've released and it's got 1 monthly listener. Proof in the pudding. So yes, you can release to distribution platforms as long as you own the copyright, you've got commercial access, the rights to release the song, but then they might come back if it's too similar and say, look, we're not going to do it on these platforms because it's too risky. So that's the first thing. The other thing is, these distribution platforms are trying to keep pace with all of the influx of AI music coming through. So they will be changing the terms of service as they see fit because it's their platform and they are the ones taking the risk, because if Spotify is not happy, they're going to be coming to the distributors as well, to maybe yourself. So it's all about risk, this stuff. So just be conscious if you are doing it, that you check the terms of service for everything. Check Spotify. They seem to be allowing it, but other likes of some French streaming platforms, they don't like it and they've been removing AI generated music automatically. You've also got the risk that AI music generators platforms are starting to fingerprint the music. They're starting to make it obvious to other companies that it's AI music generated, which is why I think you need to have transparency. You need to be honest and just be conscious of that. AI music has a bad name, just like music NFTs, which is what I've also featured over the last 4 years on this YouTube channel. So it's always cliche stuff I love to do. Not intentionally, I can tell you. So you upload music on streaming platforms. That's the first thing. I think I've covered everything in that. The next thing, which is quite a biggie, instead of putting your music out there to the world, is just putting it on, well, still to the world, but via social media. So not to the distribution platforms, but just directly yourself to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, because those platforms can allow you to make money from your AI music. Again, those things may change going forwards. They can change the terms of service to be against it if they want to. They may even not say, but there's talk that recently YouTube has actually recognized AI generated videos and they are not promoting them on the algorithm the same way that typical videos are. YouTube is not the most, if you're releasing music, YouTube may not be the best platform. If it strikes emotion and it suits a certain mood, you got here Tokyo Lo-Fi City, then you might have a chance. But just putting out AI music, whatever the track name or whatever, isn't going to cut it. It's going to be the same kind of thing. There's a lot of people that are promoting these videos on YouTube and TikTok with ads. So just be conscious of that. Now, the difficulty with doing this is the fact with these social media platforms, you have to reach a certain threshold before you can earn any money. I don't know what it is on TikTok, but TikTok does not pay great. In terms of YouTube, this is my official music channel. Now, it's very hard to make to make money from your music on YouTube, even if it's not AI generated. Because up to 2 years ago, my music was AI music didn't really exist, and I had 30 albums worth of material that I've worked tirelessly on, that I've put out on videos. People don't really want to watch music on YouTube because there's not much of a visual element, even if you do a music video. And the danger is that you might get enough subs, but you may not get enough watch hours. So the way that YouTube currently works, again, check the terms of service, you need to have over 1,000 subscribers, which I've achieved, and either 4,000 watch hours in the last year, or valid public shorts views. But it doesn't stop there because it says valid. They've got their own eligibility criteria, which I'm not going to go into in this channel. What happens when you've reached a threshold on the subs and the watch hours? You then apply, okay? Now, then down to YouTube, if they want to allow you to be monetized for your videos. If there's anything untoward on that channel that's published, then they may not be happy with doing that. And they've got every right to do that as well. And saying that, if you do have untoward videos and you put them down as private or you remove them, that then deducts from the stats of what you've got. So before you can apply, you've got to reach the threshold. But if you think, oh, before I apply, I'm just going to delete these couple of videos, that then impacts on the stats. So you may not then reach the threshold. It's really difficult, guys. It's not easy. And this is why I wanted to explain that in this video, okay? Now, that is monetizing our music via social media, okay? And of course, this is great spin. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, use update videos regularly. It's a lot of work. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? The other ways that you can make music, and there's some not included in this, okay? You can offer custom AI music creation services for the likes of like Fiverr. That could be a really good option, actually, because you can then offer personalized for videos, commercials, podcasts, or events. And it says here, advertise your services on freelance platforms such as Fiverr, which I've just said, or even contact potential clients directly. But that isn't really making money from AI music, is it? You've learnt the skills and then you are having people pay for those skills. So I don't class that as really making music from AI music. It is what it is. The other thing is, as an option here, is sell royalty-free music to creators across industries. And put it on platforms such as Audio Jungle, Epidemic Sound, or Artlist. The fact people can kind of themselves now, this opportunity is going to be diminishing all the time because they don't want to be prepared to pay for it when they can create it for free, or they can just have a subscription with so many credits to actually create music. So these are all options. Now, there is the potential of licensing, unlike TV, films, that kind of thing. Again, covering within this section across the industry. However, there's going to be a lot of companies that don't want to license your music if it's AI generated because they're going to be concerned that it was trained off copyrighted material, and they're not going to want to take the risk because they will be the ones that would be sued if there's an issue with that. So I've seen quite a lot of licensing videos talking about AI music, and pretty much they all say you need to be transparent if you are applying for licensing deals. I've never done it as an artist, okay? But you are applying for licensing deals, you need to be transparent about explaining that this is made from AI and this stuff isn't. And then it's down to the licensing company to agree with that and then actually accept you. And then you'll be in their catalogue. Sounds so easy, doesn't it? Do you see why I'm so skeptical about this stuff? Now, I have had a lot of success with NFTs. I started this channel talking about music NFTs, and I created, again on this channel, I created my own NFT project releasing AI generated music. But again, these weren't pure AI generated music. These were from my Portal collection, which is my label as AI music basically. Now, real music and what I was doing, it was a bit of an experiment. I used OpenSea.io, which is probably the most popular. It's like eBay marketplace for NFTs, for all types of NFTs, not just music NFTs, but they cater for music NFTs. Tons of videos of me covering OpenSea previously on this channel as well. Now, I made them as inexpensive as I possibly could to get the most amount of interest. Okay, what I was relying on was like the market, so like you for a couple of cents each. Okay, you sell a load of them, they want to flip them, the collectors, they'll put them on the secondary market, and you'll still earn revenue from doing that, maybe like 10%, 20%, or whatever. Now, this I started about 6 months ago. Let me have a look. January. Yeah, so I started this 6 months ago. Wow, that is spot on. And I used a blockchain called Arbitrum, which is quite popular. And I create 18 different NFTs. Now, some of them are just literally images and videos. Again, I used Wondershare on here. If I give you a little glimpse, sorry if that was super loud. In the midnight. Just give you an idea, right? So I had loads of success with this. I did really well. I have 557 owners with a total value of $50. Now, that's done really well because I was literally selling them for like 8 cents, 10 cents, 16, 24. I did some more expensive ones, but no, nothing's really become of it. I got to keep it going. It was a lot of work, and for me, I was like, I love my YouTube channel. That's what I'll be focusing on. Okay, let's just see if there's any offers on here. So even though I only made $50, I did really well in terms of activity. So you can see all of the sales on here. Really good. So many sales. Tons and tons of sales. And why did you only do that, like, cheaply? I didn't have to, but I chose to because I wanted the most amount of collectors possible. And certainly I've achieved that on here. But the downside is, what do you then do? You've got their wallet addresses, their email addresses, and then you could airdrop them free stuff. But are they really going to be interested in your next project? I had a Discord server. Did people really join? No. They just wanted to collect the music, and that's all they're interested in. If they really want to, they can look at my social media, maybe follow. But it's not huge on this particular example anyway. But I was very proud to just put the music out there for inexpensive, and I got 557 owners. That's amazing. Chances are, if you do, like, I don't know, say you charge $100 for a song that's AI music created, people won't want to buy it because the NFT market was huge going back 4 years ago. It was at the peak of its game, and now it's kind of down. So that is something to bear in mind. The only other thing that I would say in terms of making money from AI music is maybe subscription models. So you could have a like site, for example, where you could do that. Again, check Patreon to see if you're allowed to do it. I haven't done that personally. You can have a fan club on your website where you can offer this. So, for example, if I go to Cyber Monday Music, and this is for all my music, a members club on my website where literally if people want to pay £5 a month, they get access to my 20 albums. If they spend £10 a month, they get CDs posted out to them, but they get exclusive downloads only to gold members, which is 50 plus albums, and that includes my Portal stuff, which is my AI generated music. They also do bonus content only to gold members as well. So stuff that will never, gatekeeping basically, stuff that will never be released on distribution platforms that you can only get on here. There's also Bandcamp. Again, check Bandcamp. But there's a fan club on Bandcamp where you can do that as well. So there are ways to make money with AI music. So we've covered, what have we covered? We've covered streaming platforms. We've covered social media. We've covered creation services like Fiverr, licensing and selling royalty-free music to like places like Epidemic Sound. we've covered music, and we've covered subscription models. So those are all of the ways that I believe where you can make money from AI music, but it's not easy at all. You've got to reach the thresholds. You've got to make sure you've got all of the rights to the sound to be able to release it commercially. Now, there's Suno, there's Udio, there's Refusion. I've covered tons of those on this channel as well as others as well. But from what I say on those videos, don't take that as gospel. Always check the terms of service because they are subject to change, and just check what you're allowed to release. Because some people are very disappointed if they got like the tier, they then realize that they can't do that. Refusion, as an example, Refusion's gone crazy in the past couple of months because it was free. And then I warned you guys about this, that there would be a subscription model going forwards, which there then was. And what happens if you released music in the free tier, they're allowing, I think, up to 3 tracks that you can choose, that you can pay a couple of dollars for to actually be able to release those commercially, because you couldn't do that on the free tier to begin with. But then going forwards, any on the free tier you can't release commercially. So just check what the websites say. I hope that's helped you guys. I really hope so. Hopes. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. For me, don't make it your number one objective. Enjoy the creativity of AI music. It's a tool, okay? Enjoy it, and hopefully give some clarity on my opinion. But subscribe to the channel, like the video if you provided value, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Take care. Bye.